Yo, what is going on, fellas? Want to go ahead and record a couple videos kind of showcasing just how good this pass balance or spread playbook can be, right? So I broke down the run scheme with the little auto motions last week, and I don't think people realize how good and how annoying this scheme can truly be. So I wanted to go ahead and show this to you guys in its full effect as we go ahead and just get absolutely smoked on the kickoff. He picks it up, returns it for 7. So right off the bat, we are doing about as well as we could possibly do, right? We fumble the opening kickoff, return for a touchdown. We're down 7-0 immediately, 7 seconds into the game. So it did take me a while to get a gameplay in which I felt like it was going to be good and worth it to really show you. So this is one of them, right? So there's a couple, I'm going to break down a couple different things from this playbook more so moving forward, but I know a lot of people like seeing gameplays and just how people adjust. I'm not cutting out anything in this gameplay, so you're going to see the offense, you're going to see the defense, and really how I'm going to adjust and play around with different things here, right? So right off the bat, we're going to head setting up our audibles here. We are still rocking the goal line package at the moment, so we are doing the 2 running backs in the backfield, Quad Father, King Henry, and then we've got 3 tight ends. I've got Owen Daniels, George Kittle, and Taysom Hill. All 3 of those players have 0 AP, short, and elite. That allows me to still keep my identifier and threat detector, and obviously both running backs lit up like a Christmas tree in the backfield. We got our edge protectors, everything that we really need, right? So the only downside is my center, or excuse me, my guards don't have secure protector, so you'll see that people can shed those pretty quickly. So this becomes more of a passing scheme against people that really know what they're doing. So right off the bat, you see I go ahead and I try to run the ball, first play of the game, and he blows it up. So DB Fire 2 is a really good defense against the scheme, mainly because it forces us to pass. We can't abuse those bubbles. The cover 2 defense in general does a really good job. Now, I can pass lead them up if they don't have a flat zone KO out there, but if they have a flat zone KO, then I can no longer actually even pass lead them up. It'll still get picked off or knocked out. So a lot of the times, if I see they're in DB Fire, I am going to try to run the ball just to make sure that they don't have gap shoots. If they do have gap shoots, then I'm going to pass, right? So you see we hit the slant on the backside on the first play. Second time we hit a skinny post. Now here I want his user going to the middle of the field a little bit. He bites down. We hit him with a nice little cover 2 beater, which will give us a touchdown, and we're going to tie this ball game up, right? So DB Fire 2, you'll see almost nonstop. I don't know why this defense has all of a sudden became more popular than ever before. I mean, it's definitely a good defense, but I feel like more people will struggle against Spinner than DB Fire. Unless you're playing, really comp schemes, like really meta schemes. DB Fire is hard to adjust to things that you don't really know what's coming. So yeah, I don't know why DB Fire 2 is really picked up steam against non-meta schemes. I mean, with that being said, I guess you don't play too many games where you're not facing a tight or a tight offset tight end or bunch to tight slots weak, stuff like that, right? So yeah, this was not on all Madden seasons. This was actually on MUT Champions or Weekend League, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, you'll see our opponent's going to come out in empty tray stack. We are in our nickel wide 9 now. I play this a little bit different here because against empty tray stack, I'm trying to actually bait that pass to the left. He runs fade out and just lobs up a streak, which I don't know why Edelman bombs us, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I have no idea why I got bombed right there. But Mike Haynes has 96 speed, 97 speed, something like that. He's got inside shade. He's got a mid-zone KO, which obviously wouldn't activate there anyway because it was a deep ball. But yeah, I just was not expecting to get bombed right there. So yeah, we're playing pretty good, right? We drive down our first offensive possession. We actually fumbled, so we are down a score, and we've been giving up 14 points, and we have played a grand total of 1 defensive snap. So yeah, here you see he's kicking it to Sean Taylor, which is not ideal after I fumbled that first one. So we're just going to get on the ground and take it from the 19-yard line. So here you saw that I went pretty pass happy with my first real drive. And here you're going to see a play that I've started to use a lot because it beats cover 2 and it also beats cover 4. This little stutter, I don't even know the name of the play, honestly. Let's see, what's it called? It's called Motion Stutter Go. So Motion Stutter Go, that outside little stutter route will beat man coverage. It will also beat any sort of zone coverage. So our opponent really has to guard that. They got to cross man it. And if they don't cross man it, then you can see that I can abuse it. And you'll see that that's not going to be the last time I go to that route. So right off the bat, we've hit our opponent with a cover 2 beater. We've hit our opponent with, a slant. We've hit him with a shallow post. Really, the one thing we haven't hit him with is these motions, because, like I said, he's in DB fire here. We go ahead. This time, I know he's not going to get blocked, but I've still got Derrick Henry with bruiser. I'm going to trust that my running back with his abilities will be able to break one tackle. If he doesn't, generally it's a loss of 1, gain of 1, somewhere around there, right? But I do really like to just get the ball in Derrick Henry's hands, and Quad Father for that matter, and try to really abuse it. So here you see he's going to still try to send the pressure off one side, and he's doing a good job of mixing up, his coverage shell behind it. But the downside to this is, like, you don't know what I'm doing. Like, no matter how good you are, you don't know what I'm doing, because I'm running everything that's super off meta. So here, he does the same thing, but he doesn't pass commit. We go ahead and hit the stutter route again. You see we're 7 for 7 for $133 and a touchdown. So needless to say, I'm not struggling to pass this ball at all. That's just a common thing with this scheme, right? So he's in DB fire. He's not getting pressure because he can't pass commit, realistically. Because if he does and I run the ball, he's screwed. So, he's trying to mix up his coverage, because he doesn't want to blitz both slot guys, because then it's just, you saw the first drive, I hit a slant, I hit a post, and then I hit a coverage bomb. So, if that's going to be the end of the first quarter, I am down 14-7, but I haven't even thrown an incomplete pass. So I'm feeling good offensively. Defensively, I really don't know what to expect. He's got a fumble for 6, and then he just lobbed up a streak and beat me over the top somehow. So I'm going to have to lock in defensively. You'll see that I mix it up a little bit more. He does stay in the empty tray stack throughout the course of this game. So obviously that is my offense. I really know how to defend that pretty well. Here we're going to go ahead and I think I'm going to throw the RPO bubble, or I'm going to run the ball. What am I doing here? I am, I'm going to run the ball. Now, I was actually trying to throw that motion, but for whatever reason, the game lagged at the perfect time, wouldn't let me throw the motion, and I, jurtle with Derrick Henry. No harm, no foul. I didn't fumble, picked up 2 yards right there. Now, that is something that you could actually abuse if you wanted to with a running back that has leapfrog. I don't believe anybody gets leapfrog for 0 AP yet, but once they do, that could be something you can really abuse as these abilities come out. Now here, I'm going right back to the motion. I am going to throw it. I noticed he was out of cover 2, which meant that he is in either man or cover 3 or cover 4, and none of those defenses will stop me from throwing that motion. And you see we walk into the end zone, right? So still have not thrown an incomplete pass. Now that drive, we got him out of the DB fire, so we were able to abuse some of the more gimmicky stuff. But yeah, so far we've shown him quite a bit of stuff. We haven't hit him with some of the meta concepts, like the scissors concept or anything like that yet. So we still have a lot of stuff in our back pocket that he has not seen, but you can already see that he's getting frustrated defensively because he went out of DB fire and then he got into, I don't know, what was it, 4-3 over or something crazy like that. I mean, I don't know what has fire zone or fire, whatever the hell that last defense he called was. So yeah, empty tray stack. We're going to mix up our cover shell. So we're going to come out and cover 3 right here. Now, you'll see I'm motioning Hendricks over, and then I'm putting him into this contain. What you'll see happen here a lot is we're going to get the defensive end off the edge, but we're also using that contain to take away some of these quick little slants and stuff over the middle. If you guys aren't familiar with these contains, if you have tall players, you can really get gimmicky with it because they'll bounce And then if they're not actually engaged, they'll put their hands up like you saw right there. A lot of people will consider that fluke, and to a degree it is. But if is it really fluke if it's something that happens consistently? Like you'll notice that when I'm running that defense, I have Ted Hendricks on one side, and then I have Julius Peppers on the other side. Both of those guys are 6'7". I want them picking off those slants and drags over the middle of the field if my opponent tries to hike throw them like you just saw. Now, it's not going to happen every time, right, because they do bounce off of those blocks. But, yeah, if they aren't actually engaged and you try to throw something over them, there are times where they will just pick their hands up and, catch the ball. So here you see we're going to the scissors concept here. This is one thing I was talking about. You got your post, you got your motion slant. I put a C route on the backside. I've got the flat to the running back. You see he's in man. I guess, what is he running? Overstorm? We're 9 for 9 for a $147, 2 TDs. Yeah, he went to Overstorm right there. So he's not going to be able to stop us running Overstorm because we know we can throw the auto motions anytime we want to. We can do that little scissors concept. You'll see right here, I'm actually going to throw the RPO. We're going to catch it and break the first tackle and get dragged down to the, 3-4 yard line? 3 yard line. 10 for 10, $161, 2 TDs. And you'll notice that here he's going to go into cover 4 quarters, I believe, right? So this is going to be cover 4 quarters. See how he brings the guy down? He's doing this because he's so afraid of that auto motion, and he knows he can't be in man. But because he's in this match coverage shell, he doesn't have enough people blitzing. We can run this off tackle, pick up an easy score right there. There's no real gap shoot for an off tackle. So if you base a line, or if you're in a 4 defensive lineman set and you don't crash your defensive line towards the side of the run, you can really run off tackle very consistently, especially against some of the more meta defenses, against like DB Fire, right? If you base a line press DB Fire, you can run that off tackle very consistently because there's always going to be a cutback lane. Inside stuffs don't stop that, so pretty much you have to crash your defensive line and hope they shoot the gap themselves. So we're up 21-14, still have not thrown an incomplete pass, and you guys can see that like my opponent knows what he's doing. I actually found out later in this game, or later on in the night, he was watching a stream of W, and you can see him asking how to defend it and stuff. It's pretty funny, actually. He actually sees me type in Dub's chat and messages me. It was pretty comical. I like engaging with people, especially after I know I've annoyed them, because that's really the name of the game, right? This is definitely not the best meta scheme out there. It's 100% off meta, and it's there to annoy my opponent. So here you see we're going to go back to this loop. Now, what you'll see happen here is I can drop back both my defensive tackles, and you can use a specific package to get your outside linebackers there. So you see I had Kevin Green at the defensive tackle. I'm able to, click onto him. He has 0 AP lurker. And, yeah, so I'm sending a loop blitz off, in this case, one side because he's in 5 wide, but I'm only sending 3 people. Both my defensive tackles are dropping into coverage with lurker. So here you see we're going to go ahead, run the ball. Now this is Quadfather. I haven't really abused the run too much, and he's done a very good job of actually containing it, right? You see now he's in DB Blitz 0. He's all over the place. He's been in DB Fire. He's been in Overstorm Brave. Now he's in DB Blitz at a dime. He doesn't know what to do. And that's the thing, right? You with offenses like this, what you're really trying to get your opponent to do is get out of their comfort zone, right? So he clearly likes being in dollar. That was his main defense. But once we got him at a dollar, you can see he doesn't know how to make the adjustments to this. You see now he's manually chasing the running back. It's going to leave other routes open underneath. We pick up, 14 yards right there. We're 11 for 11, 175, 2 TDs. We aren't struggling at all offensively, right? His one stop came on the came on the opening kickoff where we fumbled. Besides that, we haven't thrown an incomplete pass. You see, he runs the match, cover 4 quarters. We get the ball into Derrick Henry's hands, down to the 1 yard line. 12 for 12, 187, 2 TDs. And you'll see my opponent bounces out of this game, and it's on to the next one. So hopefully you guys enjoy. We'll catch you in the next video.